Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shonen and Chill, hosted by Jacob and Dennis.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the big one,
This
the
is the big
100.
one, big triple digits, as it were.
Yeah, 2 years getting together with you on my like Sunday slash. I think we used to do these. Did we always used to do these on Sundays,
We
or did we
jumped
all?
around. We always we did them. I think just like when we did them last earlier for
Yeah,
a while. Then we started making it Sunday, and then we were like, man, Sunday is the day before work starts, so sometimes it's nice to not have to do this on it. So we started
yeah,
moving it just kind of back to when we can, with an
yeah.
emphasis on Sunday when possible.
We returned to our origins
Yeah, we
gradually.
came full circle.
Yeah, yeah. So before we do anything else, thanks everyone for sticking with us for 100 fucking episodes.
It's a lot
It's
of
actually
episodes, man.
it's wild. It's also like a long time. Like we started this show when I was still living with my parents.
Look at that. Look at that
And now
character development.
yeah, look at that character development. Now I'm a freeloader in my own house. uh, but yeah, no, it's been a ride and I hope everyone has enjoyed their time with us cuz I'm pretty sure we have. I at least have. I don't know
I
about you,
have,
Jacob.
yeah. I mean, we got not all the commenters have, but that's okay.
Well, we've pissed people off and we will do that. We'll continue to do that because it's funny. Um, and it's comics. Who cares if
Yeah,
someone's
it's
pissed off?
it's it's little drawings.
Yeah. Um, so what is new in the world of little drawings?
Good question. I'm sure there's something, but I couldn't tell you. This is the curse of taking that extra week off. I'm like, oh Jesus, I
Yeah.
don't remember anything.
You plug yourself out of like the Twitter manga sphere matrix,
Yeah,
and you're like, oh
it's like when
God.
they pull the cable out of the back of their heads. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. It's
I've
like, what's a Naruto?
never even heard of this. Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Naruto poll is still ongoing, and I think it looks like Minato is going to win that.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I
Yeah.
don't. The second place person is Itachi, and that would be awful. So.
I mean, it would also kind of be the meme where like he's just a Charizard of Naruto.
Yeah, it's like, oh, why do you even want this? Like, we already know everything about his life.
Yeah, like we have fucking 5 course meals on top of 5 course meals when it comes to this character. Why do you want more? Meanwhile, you have, poor Minato, main character's dad is just like 18 minutes of screen time starving in the corner. Um, I mean, besides news, I think just at the start we should say we do have some special things for the 100th going on. Notably, we have the bingo cards, which we will talk about at the end, I would say, right?
Yeah, I think we'll probably go through those at the end just to keep things
Yeah,
streamlined.
yeah, exactly. Those will be sort of bingo cards that you can download in the Shonen Chill server, and you can see if these predictions that the community has given to us will come true in this next year. Um, I'm the one who made the cards, so I've looked at all of them already, and some of them are really funny. So yeah, if you're
Yeah, some
interested
of
in
them are
that,
really
stick
good.
around.
Some of them are really like, this character is a very important character will appear again, and I'm like, okay. And then some of them are like batshit crazy off like,
Yeah,
uh,
I might know which one you're thinking of, but we'll get to that. Um, in other news, I mean, this has only this only has to do with us in like the most roundabout way possible. Um, but did you hear that the birth rates of Japan have started rising for the
I
first
did
time in
see that.
ages?
Yeah, the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Shinzo Abe's
He's
spirit.
his slick bastard. He did it. If,
He really
if
did it.
if only he wouldn't have stopped sponsoring us, man. So that Shonen Chill sponsorship slot is still open. If you
Yeah,
want us to advertise like
I'm
some
telling you,
terrible
McDonald's,
product,
this is the one.
McGriddle.
The McGriddle. That's the only thing I'm gonna advertise too when we get the sponsorship. I'm not gonna do any other food. Just the McGriddle.
It doesn't matter who sponsors us. Like, I'll do the real sponsorship. You'll just advertise the McGriddle on top of it every time.
It's a completely different company.
Yeah.
You're doing the regular sponsorship, and then I'm like, by the way, have you had a McGriddle yet today?
Good lord, dude. A McGriddle a day, that would probably just kill you.
Hey, if I gotta die, I'd rather die with a McGriddle in my hand.
Yeah, famous words by our beloved previous sponsor, Shinzo Abe.
I bet he would have been happier had he had a
He would-
McGriddle in his hand when it happened.
Yeah, I mean.
Who wouldn't be?
All right, real manga news. Blue Box won Japan's what is it, bi-yearly contest of manga we want to see animated. So expect an anime for Blue Box at some point, because the last two winners of that contest or the last two notable winners were Mashle and Undead Unluck, both of which are getting an anime now. So, makes sense.
I feel like it was pretty safe that Blue Box was going to get one anyway. It's pretty successful monetarily.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Exactly. Besides that, I believe there's nothing too big that I'm aware of right now. The Nier Automata anime is being put on hiatus because of COVID-related issues during production, which most people have divined out that that's just an excuse and that actually it's just A1 Pictures collapsing, as it does.
It happens.
It happens, yeah. But I'm not gonna judge too much on that because I also haven't seen a single anime episode from Nier Automata. Trigun Stampede is running and looks pretty good. Everyone who's watched the original Trigun, I'm sure, is very excited for it. I'm not, because I've never touched Trigun.
I've paid very little attention to Trigun, but it does look very good. And
yes,
the fact that it's all 3D is nice because
yes, it's very cool. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll think of things as we go further. It wouldn't be a 100th without some tangents.
Yeah, well, especially not on this show.
Yeah, especially not on this show. All right, top 3, Jacob. What you got?
All right, top 3. My number 3, I think, was Jujutsu Kaisen. My number 2, I think, was My Hero, and my number actually, you know what? My number 3 was Undead Unluck. I think I'm gonna pull the wool out of pull the veil away and not even rank Jujutsu Kaisen this week. I know.
Okay.
I think my number 3 is going to Undead Unluck. My number 2 is going to My Hero. My number 1 is going to Chainsaw Man.
All right. Wow, that's an upset to the order. My number 3 would be My Hero. My number 2 would be Jujutsu Kaisen, and my number 1 would be Undead Unluck.
Okay.
This is unprecedented.
I know. I think new year, new model.
What did Gege do?
I actually don't think it was bad. It was more than just not very much happened.
Yeah,
I think it was fine. It was just very minimal on the content-wise side of things.
Yeah, I feel that. We'll talk about the specifics going in, but so what's first?
So first is my actual number 1 that I was pressured not to make the number 1 by our McDonald's sponsor, which is Naruto Sasuke's story, where they revive the fucking dinosaurs with Sensei.
I love this side manga so much.
It's so fucking stupid and good. It's amazing.
I love how they keep calling them like dragons as well.
Yeah,
and it's just
it's just dinosaurs.
But yeah, I've been really enjoying this. I like also the scene with Sasuke and Sakura where they're sort of having a moment together about their relationship. It's wild. It's such a breadcrumb of romance, but it's better than anything that ever happened between them in canon.
It's a breadcrumb of romance that is 1,000,000 times more than they ever got in the actual series.
Yeah, like not just like for the relationship, but also for like their characters, because it's wild to me that Sasuke is expressing like his emotions on a topic that is not his brother.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. He's like, oh yeah, I feel a little weird about the fact that I don't get to see like all your important life moments. I'm like, oh my god, Sasuke Uchiha had like a human moment.
Yeah, he had a human moment that was like nice and sweet
Yeah, and
and not
sincere.
raving insanity.
Yeah, like more of this, please. I mean, if we're gonna keep doing this shit with Sasuke in like other side stories, and he's gonna continue looking, like Severus Snape, I'm fine with all of that as long as we keep getting stuff like this, because it really emphasized to me how much I've been missing this from like Sasuke specifically. Because he kind of did really go through just a massive arc of, being the edgy boy to being a terrorist to being an edgy boy ex-terrorist.
Yeah, I mean, he was
It's,
basically like edgy, progressive slide into crazy, and then revert back to normal at the end.
yeah,
Was pretty much what he did.
yeah. So he rarely ever had like normal interactions with people. So this was such a cool moment to me. I really, really liked it. What I also really liked is that, if I'm not mistaken, they don't explain the chickens, do they?
No, but there's a fantastic shot on page 13 where he flashes back to the chickens and has like a panic attack.
Yes. So good.
I think the point of the chickens was to hide the fact that they're digging up the fossils in that room.
I guess. I mean, I kind of would love it also if the whole thing was that the fossils need to fuse with the chickens in order to, become dinosaurs again. Because of course, chickens are just dinosaurs. So it's sort of that would be kind of cool. Um, I mean, theoretically, you could debate whether or not pterosaurs are dinosaurs, but at that point, you're being very annoying, also known as me. But yeah, super fun chapter. I'm really liking the energy of this spin-off. Uh, I think, especially chapters that do not directly relate to dinosaurs and or chicken, I think they tend to drag a little. But this chapter was really good because it had a non-dragon, non-dinosaur, non-chicken moment that was really, really sweet and cool
Yep,
with
and it
Sasuke.
also
So
had the chickens and dinosaurs.
yes, it was.
So really, what more can you ask for?
Also, I will say, on page 11, when you see that shot of like the various dinosaurs, that Stegosaurus, that's one of the funniest like dinosaur drawings I've seen in my life.
Yeah, he's got like a really long head, and he's just
Yeah,
chilling. He's
yeah,
just
he just
vibing.
God, more
Also, I
series
really
these
like
things.
the Brontosaurus. It's like the same size as everyone else.
Well, it happens.
It's just a little guy.
Yeah, just a, I mean, is that supposed to be a T-Rex on the far
I think so on
the
the
far
far
left?
left. Well, again, everyone's the same size, so it could be anything. But I
Oh
think
my
it's
God,
supposed to be a T-Rex. Yeah.
are we gonna start the did T-Rex have lips discourse on Naruto now as well?
Oh my God. The best part about this story as well is that the hypest moments have not yet happened.
I mean, yeah, we haven't had like a climax yet,
Yeah,
really.
we're gonna. Oh man, it's gonna be so good. I'm
All
very
right, all
excited
right.
for you to see when it happens.
Oh God. If Sasuke rides a dinosaur, my life will be very,
I'm not
very
saying
filled.
anything.
Good. That's fine. But Sasuke stories gets dinosaurs are rad out of 10.
Yeah, right back to the fucking elementary school lunch table. Dinosaurs fucking cool as hell.
Oh my God, it's Sasuke and dinosaurs. It is primary school lunch table. That was my primary school lunch table.
All right. Next up is Choujin X.
Uh I thought it was really interesting that in the newest chapter he goes, "Oh, so this is what a real fight between Shoujin looks like." And I'm like, good. I wish I knew what it looked like.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Uh I mean, again, a lot of very evocative art, but I really struggled with following these last two
A
chapters.
lot of it, he's just like, I guess he has gravity powers, is what's happening.
Yeah,
Um, and
that
he,
seems
and he's just
clear.
like,
Yeah.
they're just kind of pushing their hands at each other, and then they're getting like flying around.
Hmm.
I do like page 11 where they're like pushing their powers against each other and you see his fingers breaking.
Yes.
That's really, really cool. Um, I don't know why he has an attack called Sputnik, but I find it funny. Um, but yeah, a lot of this, I'm flicking through these pages. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a little too far into the abstract for some of the action. Like I think there's some really cool creative stuff here. Like if you look on page 17, them bursting through the tower, and then you have the sound effect bursting forth behind the
Hmm.
tower. That's a really nice like way of paneling it. Um, and honestly, that entire double spread is really good. We have the panel with the attack crashing into the character, and on the other side of the panel, he's crashing out of the tower with the aforementioned sound effect. Like it's there's a lot of good stuff here, but overall, it is a little hard to follow. I will say the chapter before this as well. Um,
I do like page 20 to 21, where the top is basically him like flying, the progression of him flying through a building.
yeah, yeah, that's really cool. Like that sequential paneling,
Yeah.
and it's wild that the guy with the funny face is so powerful. I think that's really cool.
I also like that he showed up wearing a little like bandana. No
Yes.
one's gonna know who I am if I'm wearing this, even though
Um,
everyone knew immediately.
Also, I like that the way they explain his ability is it's a hyper microscopic cosmic blast. Wow, man, that's like that means nothing.
Yeah, those are all a bunch of words that he thought were pretty cool.
I
Putting them
mean, they are
together.
very cool. And I mean, I like the whole thing that he can like manipulate gravity and attraction and repulsion on like a molecular level. It's really cool. Um, Again, I feel like I would like this chapter more, or like these two chapters more, if they toned down a little bit on the abstract imagery, which is a weird thing to say because we've been praising it for weeks.
Yeah, we've
But I do think,
only said good things about it so far.
yeah, but I do think this time it just goes that little bit too far. I wish there were a few more normal or conventional panels and pages so that I had something to like
Yeah,
latch onto, right?
and you know, when you get the abstract imagery in an action scene where it's meant to flow really quickly, it becomes much more like not frustrating, but definitely difficult to follow in comparison to just like
Yes.
creepy abstract still images that are meant to like be lingered on, you know?
Yes, yes, that's a very good point. Actually, I do think because, for example, in the chapter 20, 32, 34.2, Ishida, um, on page 10, when when our main guy goes Chaos Beast, that's a good like abstract page included in an action panel because you're supposed to linger on that, as you say, to just sort of bask in the horror of oh god, he's going through it.
Hmm.
And he's turning into this awful monster. Um, but yeah, 34.3 is a lot less comfortable as a reading experience, which is a shame because I think the action does look really cool. But
It
hey,
yeah, it does look really cool,
fine.
but yeah, like you said, it's just like trying to follow it. I had to do a couple double and triple takes of like, oh, this is what's going on.
Yes. But yeah, other than that,
Solid though,
pretty
solid chapter.
yeah,
Yeah.
solid out of 10.
All right, next up is Konoha's story, the Steam Ninja thing, the Mirai girl one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I did not read this one.
It's okay, you missed absolutely nothing.
It,
1010 got more screen time in this chapter than she did in the entirety of Naruto.
did she
Uh,
say anything ableist?
no, but she did say that um, she made a kunai that will not rust in a hot spring because dudes would find that super hot. So I guess she's just an ableist that really wants to get laid. It's just her character now. Um,
I mean, okay, fine. I'll accept that into the canon.
It's really funny that she has that ableist moment and guy's in a wheelchair and it's her teacher. Uh,
Well, it's just with her. I feel like anytime, because the only characterization she has is in like filler, right? And
hmm
anytime they do it in like the original series, they always make her like the worst.
Doesn't she have like a whole mini arc of her own in film
I think that
where
I
she
think that's
goes
in
to like a
Shippuden.
yeah, where she goes to like a different universe version of the town?
Oh, but that's the arc that everyone gets in sort of as marketing for the Road to Ninja movie, the one where that
Ah,
takes place entirely in a parallel universe.
okay. And
Yeah,
they thought
because that's
1010 was good marketing for that, huh?
well, she was one of the characters that got it. I mean, what was it? There's also Sakura who falls through it, and like in her version of the world, her dad is the fourth Hokage. Sasuke is like a shy simp. Uh, oh, Hinata is like a bossy goth girl who basically just claims Naruto and beats people up if they show interest in him.
That's funny.
Yeah, road. I mean, the road arcs leading up to the movie, they're fun. I mean, they're completely inconsequential because they're literally just fan fiction, but they're really funny. You know, they go through so much. They go through such lengths to make everyone like the opposite of what they are. Like to the point where they take Kiba and make him like a cat guy.
Fucking blasphemy, according to
Yeah,
this series.
yeah. Um, so we've not
Uh,
talked about this chapter at all.
yeah, okay. Well, here's the quick rundown.
Uh-huh.
They're at a hot spring. 1010 is also at the hot spring and just like shows up and is like, "Hey, I'm here
Hmm.
too." They talk for a little bit. It's revealed that Guy is afraid of ghosts, and they make fun of him because he won't stay in his room unless Kakashi is also there. So because
Aw.
Kakashi had to go use the phone, he is waiting in the hallway.
Uh-huh.
And then they decide they're gonna have a contest like they used to, and they start playing ping pong, and it ends right as they begin playing ping pong,
Damn.
which is unfortunate because that would be much more interesting than anything else that happened
Yeah,
in
I
this
was gonna
chapter.
say the most interesting part about that is Kakashi and Guy bonding
Yes,
and
which
being each other's
hopefully
safe person.
happens uh, in the next one. I want to see the ping pong match. Oh, and there's a very funny scene where he reveals that he was talking to Naruto on the phone, and Mirai's
Hmm.
like, "Oh, did he mention me? Like, did he say anything nice about me?" And he goes, "No," and then they just stop.
Sounds about right. That's like me talking about the series because I keep forgetting that we cover it. I keep thinking, oh yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one we don't talk about.
yeah, we do talk about it for reasons unknown, but
Yeah. Well,
well, it happens. Anyway, it's not dinosaurs out of 10 is my final
yes,
verdict on that.
I'll agree on that. Having read
Yeah.
0 pages of this.
So next up is Spy Family.
Spy Family. In
Yeah,
my app, it's Ichinose. Do we not
is
cover,
it?
or is it afterwards for you?
It's after Ichinose for me, or
All right.
Ichinose is after it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just I got that silly European shonen jump app.
yeah. No, we're still
Uh,
on track in mine.
I'm struggling so hard calling it Shonen Jump and not Shonen and Jump.
Shonen and jump.
Yeah, like it keeps happening to
Read it
me.
while jumping.
Yeah. Oh God, it'd be a lot more. I'd be a lot fitter if I did that regularly. Uh, Spy Family, very good chapter. I really like this one.
Yeah, I like this one a lot too, where the guy's like progressively impressed with Anya, and he just gives up.
Yeah, yeah. Because on one hand, it's really funny. On the other hand, it is really sweet. And I like that it sort of mixes those two moods really well. That it's funny from Anya's side because she's, of course, being herself about this. But it's actually kind of sweet from the dude's side, where he's like, "Oh, right. Like I'm gonna end up hurting people that are very similar to the person that I lost, and that's kind of shitty." But again, as sweet as that is, it's funny that it almost happens by complete accident. Anya
Yeah,
just,
and almost complete, yeah, just bullshit reasoning, as
uh-huh.
Anya normally does. That's, I guess, part of her charm. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't really get this bus driver. He's real mad. I don't know why he's not. taking it a little bit easier. Every single time something happens, he's like, "Shit, I gotta blow up all these kids right now." He's on the
You see,
edge, man.
that's what happens when you miss out on that McGriddle for that day.
He didn't get his McGriddle. The other guy did. That's why he can be talked down.
Yeah, you know, it unlocks your humanity every day. That's why you have to eat it.
Also, I like how they make the government like FBI guys just evil. Just
Hmm
shoot him. You might hit the kid. I don't give a shit. Take the shot. Like, really? Why are you even here?
Look, sir, I'm probably going to hit a kid. Take the shot. Go
Take the
on.
shot. It's just one kid. Take the shot.
Miss hits the kid. Sir, I hit the kid. I'm so sorry. Take the shot. It's just two kids.
Just working his way through the meat shields.
Yeah, eventually you'll hit him, boy. I also really like the scene with Yor at the start when she realizes that they've all been lied to about the school trip. That was cool. I like
Hmm.
that. She's sort of that she's sort of being a bit more active.
Yeah, being
Um,
a proactive mom.
mhm. And yeah, no, I'm interested to see now that we're done with this school bus arc, what comes next? Because this arc did feel a little odd.
Yeah, it
Like,
felt very nothing-y, where something kind of happens and then Anya kind of like just bumblefucks her way through it, and now it's over, and there's no real consequence to it.
hmm
So I don't know, because usually, I mean, Anya always bumblefucks her way through things, but usually
hmm
when she does it, it's like, oh, now they have like bond or whatever, or they stopped a bombing that was gonna kill a bunch of people. This is just like
hmm
something bad happened specifically to Anya, and then she resolved
hmm
it, and there's no real impact here. But I don't know why they
yeah,
would show the your panel at the beginning if there's not going to be some sort of consequence to that. Like now that she
yeah.
knows that they lied about it, so I don't know. We'll see if something comes of that too.
Yeah, yeah, precisely. Like I do think it felt because the other thing is, this arc's been kind of going on ever since I caught up. So it's also felt like extra long to me,
Hmm.
because of that. And yeah, it's just felt a little out of place. Then again, I mean, Spy Family isn't like the most heavily plotting series in
No,
the
no, it's
magazine,
not.
so yeah, so it's kind of whatever. It's just an odd little outlier in terms of like the vibes, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it just feels like very much a bottle episode around Anya, which is it was very long for that to be all it was.
Yeah.
So
Well, it
hopefully
was
it has some greater scope impact.
yeah, it was all right. It was okay.
Also, shout out to the old man. When the bus driver goes to shoot Anya, he jumps in front of her. What a legend!
What a man.
What a legend! I like that guy.
Yeah, he's really cool. Um, very cool out of 10.
Hmm. All right. Next up, we've got. Now we're at Ichinose Family's Deadly Sins.
All right, let's hear the verdict. What do we think about the pedophile arc?
This was gonna. I told you it was gonna happen like this. They were
Yeah,
gonna be like, "Oh no, I had no idea." It's like, dog, she's like 3'1". What do you mean you had no idea?
yeah,
Yeah. So that kind of sucked. I really wanted it to be like, I don't know. And in the on page 7, they almost made it like they gave him like an evil man face. And
hmm
I was like, oh shit, is he gonna be like awful? And they're gonna have like a thing. And nope, it was exactly what I thought was gonna happen. He was just like,
hmm
oh geez, well we definitely didn't bone down, and then he just runs away, and that was it. Bit
yeah.
disappointing,
I
but
mean, I do like that it's not just him sort of blowing it off and be like, oh, well, I didn't know, and walk off. He does seem like genuinely terrified.
well, yeah, he's like, oh shit, I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought that was at least sort of kind of funny. But yeah, that part was kind of whatever. I did think it was interesting the way she like fell into this, where it's like, um, she didn't want to hang out with this guy, but it's almost like her old self was emerging and making her do that.
Yeah, it was like a compulsion almost.
Yeah, which is very weird. Um,
Well, we've seen it happen with Tsubasa already.
yeah, but I'm just thinking what because with Tsubasa the hint that we've gotten is basically that he's kind of a psychopath.
Hmm.
Um, Whereas with her, I wonder what was her original self's problem that she would go out with much older men and seemingly essentially trick them. Because I mean, this guy, he convinced me that
That he
that
did
he
not
was,
know. Yeah.
yeah. Like I mean, look at his face on page 8. Like that's the fear of God on that man's face. That's him realizing, oh my God, she wasn't just a little short. Um, But yeah, so it's building a good mystery around like what these kids and what this family was like before this. Cuz none of it like seems normal or like even comprehensible. Um
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know if we're rolling into just it's the dad's turn now, I guess, to tease a little bit about what his malfunction was.
mhm. Yeah, I mean that kind of seems to be the direction it's going, that we're going to uncover these family members one by one.
Hmm.
Um I did think it was interesting when Subasa's I guess real personality came through like really quickly on page 16. Like when he goes, "Oh, family's got to smile."
Hmm.
It's very. That's at least to me, it was a very cool moment because I realized I instantly knew that this was his other personality or like his original self. But it's like there's nothing really to tell you that besides just the vibe of the page.
Yeah, just the way that he's drawn, he's got like
Mm-hmm.
creepier, like obvious vibe to him. And then
Mm-hmm.
sister having a an odd reaction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just there and then gone again. It's super cool. Um, so I guess yeah, we're gonna find out what the problem is with the dad.
I don't know, maybe
Uh,
he's a serial adulterer or something.
That'd be because I mean, it isn't Shonen Jump. It'd be kind of wild if like all of these family members just have some sort of problem relating to relationships they shouldn't be having. That feels a little because already this whole thing with like the older guy, I thought is it, like besides it just being kind of a little off in the vibes department, also just like is this something Jump usually does?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I don't. Also, a way to call out like half of your other series there by having to be like, "Oh my God, you're a minor. I gotta get out of here."
Oh my God, a child? Who would ever think like that about a child? Says Siri sitting in Weekly Shonen Jump.
Weekly Shonen Jump magazine.
Yeah. Um oh god. But yeah, Ichinose family is still kind of interesting. Um Again, I think what keeps me going is just how consistently awful the vibes are. Like I'm
Yeah,
just
every week there
ready.
it's just grimy. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know, in a way it's interesting. It's like, like you see a really gross puddle and you're like, damn, I wonder what happens if I throw things in it.
What
And
happens to this
every
puddle?
yeah, like every time it gets worse, and you're just like, but I want to see how bad it can get. Like, I don't know, are they just gonna show a dead body on like a page? I want to know if we get there. Although it could always get axed before that, before it can fully
Yeah, that is true. It's still
unleash.
in the danger zone.
Yeah, because I have you heard anything about how well it's doing? Because I
I
haven't.
have not heard a single thing about it from anyone. None of the
Mm-hmm.
usual like news accounts I follow are saying anything about it, good or bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hope that's an alright sign, because I would want this to like escalate itself to whatever it's working towards. It would be a shame if this got cancelled, especially because with other series like something with like Phantom Seer or Red Hood, right? It's like you're only really working towards another shonen story.
Hmm.
But here it feels like there's a very specific mystery that we're supposed to be invested in, and it would suck so hard if that got canceled and they had to like rush it or like invent something new.
Yeah, just quickly reveal everything like right at the last minute. That would
Yeah,
be a
yeah,
shame.
I feel like yeah, it would really be a shame. But so far, good out of 10. Grimy out of 10.
Grimy as hell out of 10.
Yeah.
So the next up is gonna be Mashle.
Boy, this fight sure is going on.
It sure is continuing to happen. I do think weakness mode is really funny.
Yes. It is so
He's
goofy.
so limp that you can't cut him because he just flips off of it like a piece of paper.
It's such a fun idea for a power up as well. Like it's not just him being super powerful, it's just him being a noodle. Um but yeah, aside from that, I thought that wow, we really have been in this fight
Yeah,
for
this
a
fight
long
sure is
time.
still going. I really thought he was gonna have won this one by now.
Yeah. Like next one has to be it, right?
Gotta be. Yeah, I mean they give the little final like stare down at the end there. It's
Mm-hmm.
gotta be. And then we say that, and it's gonna be like 5 more chapters of this.
Yeah. Yeah, because the fight's cool, but I will say it's starting to drag a little for
Yeah,
me.
it absolutely is dragging, big time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to stop fighting Toguro that can make clones.
Clone Guro. Um, and yeah, in typical Mashle fashion, there isn't a lot to talk about. Like, it was funny with his limp mode, but besides that, it was kind of, it
Mm-hmm.
was fine. It was cool.
Yeah, it was all right.
Very cool out of 10.
All right out of 10.
I,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. Next up, we got Blue Box.
I don't know if I've said this on this show, but Blue Box is actually the manga I read first
You
whenever,
have said that before, one
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Also, I found it really funny that the color page is literally just a photograph with like the characters drawn on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Um, and as usual, chapter is really good. This I kind of like Yumeka in how petty she is and how petty she seems. And I'm interested to see sort of the flashback now from like Chinatsu's perspective as to what happened between them. Um, and it's just an interesting wrench to throw in the whole thing. Um, I also thought her telling him like, "Oh, don't drink that has sugar in it. You shouldn't have that after a dentist appointment." It's like, "All right, lady."
Yeah. He
Uh,
like makes fun of her about it a little bit.
yeah. Um. So yeah, I'm interested to see now like what the deal is basically between them, Natsu and Yumika. Because Yumika only really says that, "Oh yeah, I just hated her and I
Mm-hmm.
just
And then
left because of that."
they're ominous vibes when it's left on the panel of Taiki saying, "Well, did you say that to her?" And she says, "Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
did tell her that."
Mm-hmm. Also, I like that Chinatsu apologizes to him for her behavior. I thought that was very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also very boldly calls Yumika her friend specifically,
Yeah,
even like
emphasizes
written in
it.
bold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Also, she apparently used to call herself Chi in the third person when she was small, and that's
which
cute.
is adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, aside from that, good chapter. Had fun with it. Um, but I think the real meat is gonna be next week when we find
Yes.
out what happened.
When we get more of the flashback.
We get
I
exciting.
assume it's gonna be sort of a Kuroko-esque thing where she was like the best, and then Shinai came along and got better than her, and
Hmm.
it started upsetting her. And she wanted to like win, but instead of wanting to make it a big contest, she just is like, "Fuck this, I'm leaving."
Hmm.
But we'll see if there's something else to it.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, next week we'll get the groundbreaking lore about these two middle school girls having a little fight, and it'll be
A
peak.
little, yeah, peak fiction, a little middle school
Yeah,
girl argument.
it's the same energy when people are like worst, most powerful and intimidating villains in anime top 10 list, and it's it's Frieza, it's Meruem, it's Toguro, And then it's just like that guy from Haikyuu.
Yeah, the worst villains in anime. That dude who played volleyball on the other team.
I don't know if you were like on Twitter or like big into manga at that time, but do you remember when for a while Haikyuu fans collectively decided to gaslight non-fans and anime onlys into thinking that one of the characters just straight up gets shot on screen?
Yes, and they always like would link that panel of him laying on the ground, and they were like,
Yeah.
"He's dead. He fucking died."
It's like with Joe Jolien, where fans made up a new character and gaslit people who didn't read Joe Jolien into thinking that he exists.
Oh
Haruno Higashikata. Like,
God.
I love shit like that. I mean,
Excuse me.
sometimes I do. Sometimes I think it's cringe, but quite often I think it's just funny. It's like that movie that Tumblr is now gaslighting everyone into thinking existed. The Lost Scorsese movie that they're writing like video essays on. Love shit like that.
Oh, God.
But yeah. What's next?
Let's see here. Next up is Akane Banashi.
Which was sweet.
It
I like
was.
Akane a lot.
Yeah. I like their awkward, terrible date. And then he's like, all right, well, what if we just, have a date? And then she's like, that was just a fun day. And he's like, yeah, that's correct.
That's the point.
That's what dating is.
But I also like that in the end the date was what helped her because it gave her someone who could put it in a different perspective.
Mm-hmm. Also, I like that we didn't get to see how she passed yet. So I assume we're going to see
Yes.
what she's doing different in the actual performance itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sort of this rephrasing of like, hey, you made her laugh. You got a reaction out of her. That's good by itself. Because I really feel like that seems to be the rhythm with Akane, that she like gets too in her head about like the raw technical skill of something and forgets some of the more sort of hidden in plain sight things. So I think in that sense it's really cool that the date quote unquote failed, but it still gave her the perspective that she needed.
Mm-hmm.
A perspective that only really someone outside of Rakugo could have given her. That's really cool. And yeah, very excited to see what we do next week. Always happy to see like a let's go type panel as a cliffhanger.
Those are always the best kind.
You on your way to McDonald's.
Me when my alarm goes off in the morning so I can still get to McDonald's in time for breakfast.
You also always wear a kimono, naturally.
Only the finest for the McGriddle.
So, suit and tie, dress shoes. You wake up extra early so you can like style yourself. So you can go
Slick
get your
my hair
McGriddle
back and everything.
Yeah, you can get the McGriddle at 11 a.m. or whenever they serve it.
They stopped serving it at 10:30 a.m.
Oh damn! Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
even earlier. Get up with the sunrise for the McGriddle.
That's that Sigma grind set right there. All these Beta King munchers would not understand.
Beta King. Oh my god.
But yeah, Akane Banashi still good, still very cool. I am ready to like get to see this performance because I feel like with the 2-week break that we had, we've been stewing on this plot point for a hot minute.
Yeah, and it's not like it's necessarily been running too long, as much as like the real world time has been very long. So hopefully, we see this performance, and I like the little bit of cliffhanger at the end where the other girl was like, "Wow, that performance was both extremely similar and also very different from yours all at the same time." So I want to see what that's about too, because that sounds neat.
Yes.
I need the deets. I need to see it.
All right. In that case, what's next?
Next up, we have Sakamoto Days,
which was kind of wild. I did not expect this. We just got
I
like our Sasuke moment.
Yeah, I'm a little like kind of like, God, this guy is still here. This
Yeah, a
film
little.
guy is still here. He sure has been around for a fucking while.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, we got our little I'm betraying the group for revenge kind of thing, which
Mm-hmm.
was certainly unexpected to me.
Yeah, same. I I thought that they were gonna find out more about her aunt together now that they heard about the fact that X killed her. Um, I didn't realize that she was just going to go full emo on
Yeah,
this.
she went full Sasuke real fast.
Mm-hmm. Also, kind of wild that she just like brushes everyone off with her like prediction ability.
Yeah, with her killing line thing.
Yeah, the Tanjiro thing.
Yeah. Her Demon
And
Slayer. She watched too much Demon Slayer.
she like turns around and coldly says that Demon Slayer season 2 was pretty good though, and then beats the fuck out of everyone.
You see that Mugen Train movie? Just decks everybody immediately.
um, but yeah, as usual, the Sakamoto standards still apply. The action is good, even though there's actually very little of it this chapter. It's a lot of
Yeah,
dialogue.
it's a lot of dialogue. It's deceptive action where like
Hmm.
there's only a couple big moments, but you linger on them for a long time.
Yes. Also the double spread where Akira jumps in, super cool.
Yes, really good. All the drawings of Akira in this chapter are like really good. She's really
Yes.
cool. And she has the whole Sasuke eyes thing going on. She's got a very like she looks extremely different to how she's normally like drawn. It's really cool how
Yes.
she has totally different vibes.
Hmm. Yes. Also, I thought it was pretty interesting that film guy basically tried to commit suicide by Sakamoto, and then he's like, "Oh, but a revenge story, I can film that." I thought that was an interesting little moment to give him, even though I do agree. I think he kind of needs to go by now.
Yeah, I think
I'm
he's
kind
overstayed
of
his welcome a little bit, but hey, whatever. As long as they're not fighting him anymore, fine.
yeah. He's just in the background. He just exists and like comes in and like references a movie. That's fine. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. He's pop culture reference guy is okay with me. Everyone needs
Yeah,
one.
absolutely. Comes in, he's like, "Oh, Sakamoto, have you already seen Avatar 2: Way of Water?" And Sakamoto punches him for like 17 pages straight.
Hey, I'd be okay with that. Have you seen popular new film? Beat him up, he leaves.
He's
It's his
just
whole
like,
role.
well, that just happened.
He starts
And it's just
spewing
like,
MCU dialogue every chance he gets.
and it's always followed by like a panel of every character in the show, like kicking him to the floor. Even if they're not in the scene, they just appear for that one panel. Just get up, get up. um, but yeah, cool chapter out of 10.
All right,
That
so
is
the
my
next up, that is going to put us at Fabricant 100.
boy. Howdy, we sure are spending some time here in this
Yeah, we should be
with this
spending a lot of time
organization.
here. Boy, this girl sure is L.
Yeah,
Sure is just L.
yeah. Now that you've said it, that is true. Didn't even clock that. Um, I thought it was um, I thought it was interesting that this character is so overt with the whole thing that, oh, your kindness is a problem for us because we do need to make plans and kindness makes you unpredictable.
Hmm.
I thought it was cool, and I like the nature of this test where it's like this is someone who looks really sweet but is just as terrible as the other fabricants. If you can kill her, I'll believe you that you can do what needs to be done. I thought this is an okay setup. Um, but besides that, I kind of wish we wouldn't have spent 2 out of 6 chapters introducing this organization. I feel like this should have come a little later.
Yeah, especially because the end result is just, hey, go do a thing that you were already doing. You know,
Yes.
you can join our rank if you do this thing that you were already going to do and were doing before this.
Yeah, exactly. Or like could have introduced it differently. Like for example, just introduce the fact that this organization is watching them, and then have our guys, well, our guy and
Yeah,
gal
make them
do this.
like a sneaky like, oh, what's going on here kind of thing.
Yeah, and then maybe our main guy and his fabricant, they beat this like opera singer on their own time by themselves, and then this organization jumps in, or even later than that, because I do feel
Hmm.
like 6 chapters is a little early to spend two of them, honestly, three of them, introducing. No, my God, we've been dealing with these guys since chapter 3.
Hmm.
So 4 out of 6 chapters have been introducing this organization. It's a little, I don't know. I feel like we haven't really seen enough of the core appeal of the series yet to go into this more granular,
Yeah, to
specific
start really
storyline.
breaking it down quite so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It was I mean, on one hand, it's nice that we're like moving out of this fucking little scene at least, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if this really could have been later on, and it would have been just
Mm-hmm.
fine. Also, I really
Yeah.
think page 9 is fucking hilarious.
Page 9. What's page 9? Oh, the why does no one listen to me the first
Well,
time?
not the joke, but the look how smart I am page. Look, I'm sitting like L, and I'm not wearing shoes like L, and I have papers and chess and shogi and tea. I am very smart.
Actually, actually, what's happening with her leg?
I assume it's just the fact that she's wearing a black suit, so essentially her body is drawn as a formless mass for some reason.
Yes, but like I'm just trying to imagine like the angle of that leg. It doesn't look very natural, does it?
Not really, no. I mean, I guess she's just later on. It seems to be fine. She's like moving around, doing stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's just an awkward drawing because there's no detail given to her legs, so she's just
You
a
know what?
formless mass with feet.
This is just what happens when you have an IQ of 400, actually.
Your physical body starts to deteriorate
Well, it's just like it doesn't conform to like the senses of the normal folk,
of the plebs,
of the betas.
the common betas, the soy boys.
Yeah. Yeah. She renewed her Joe Rogan podcast subscription, that's for sure.
Her brain pills. Her
Yeah.
X-Force brain pills.
Ah, you see. I know how the shrimp fried this rice. But yeah, Fabricant 100. A little worried, but I'll keep an open mind as to where this goes because yeah,
Yeah.
dealing with this specific of a like structure organization this early on really reminds me of Red Hood, and it's
It
like
sure
exactly.
does, doesn't it? Almost exactly the
Yeah,
same. Yeah.
yeah. Um, don't be Red Hood out of 10.
Yeah. Learn from your predecessor's mistakes out of 10.
Yeah.
All right. So next up is actually the new series,
Mm-hmm.
which is called Jiangshi X, which is interesting that we got Choujin X not that long ago, and now we've got Jiangshi X. So okay.
Yeah, and also I didn't know that we were getting a new series until I saw the announcement from Shonen Jump today, and I was like, "What? When did this
I
happen?"
remember seeing something a little while ago on the news that there was going to be that they snuck in a new series this week. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess I did.
Yeah. First things first. I opened the manga, and first thing I see is page 1 of 91,
Yes.
and I tell you, I was sweating. It was like that Homelander gif, like.
Yeah, just when he's like recovering from the panic attack.
Yeah. Um, but hey, this was pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually found myself enjoying it more than I thought I was going to. The art's really good.
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of the art. It's willing to do just like some weird mystical bullshit and then not really explain itself, and I'm kind of okay with that.
Hmm.
Like he's like, oh, I'm throwing my talisman with the lightning dragon ability or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Don't sit
I
down and
mean,
explain to me how it works. Don't tell me that it's a microscopic hypervelocic cosmic blast. Just just throw it. Just throw your fucking paper at him. I'm here for it.
yeah, it seems like a very cool power system, that's for
hmm
sure.
I
Um,
like the bait and switch with the dad too, where they make it look like he's gonna be this hard ass because the kid's like having a panic attack, and then he's
mhm,
actually like, no, I'm pretty cool. I'm just kind of a
mhm.
guy, just hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like a very well crafted beginning too, because we just talked about how with Fabricant 100 and Red Hood, it felt like doing like dedicating 4 out of 6 chapters on an exam, or like introducing an organization is maybe very costly and not very smart for a new series. And here we have Jiangshi X, which is like, yeah, I'm just gonna casually do these things in the first chapter while also introducing you to the series, and it feels really really seamless and cool because of it. Because now we have our organization, we have our guys are licensed and they don't need to do an exam, and they can just go on their shonen adventures now, or like protect their village or whatever it's gonna be. um which I think is a really really good way. It kind of reminds me of like and that, you know cliche thing to say, but it does remind me of like no, manga from like the early 2000s
Really
in the
thought you were.
start.
Did you choke back saying Naruto and expand it to manga from the early 2000s?
I actually was gonna first say from the noughties, but I wasn't sure if everyone understands that term. But yes, it does give me Naruto vibes. It's just such a concise like first chapter that's just like, here's some shit and it's cool. I hope you enjoy it, instead
hmm
of like a billion explanations.
Yeah, which, it gives you the explanations where they're needed. Because it tells you, like,
Hmm.
oh, this is what a Jiangshi is. Oh, this is what our little organization does. And then it doesn't when it doesn't need to. It's fine with doing stuff and just letting you watch it, and I'm all right with
Hmm.
that. Because I,
Yeah.
I really get irritated when shit gets too granular. When like, oh, he threw a firebird. The technique is called this, and he does that by charging up this and that, and then this lets him throw the firebird. He just
Hmm.
fucking throws the firebird, and it's fine. I don't need to know how
Yeah.
he's doing it. It's not real life. I'm not gonna go out and practice. Like,
Hmm.
just do it. Just do your thing. I'm fine with it.
And I mean, we already have our completely unexplained but very cool like signature attack,
Yes.
the Rising Mountain Burst, which is just Naruto hand signs and then like a key blast.
Yep. And I'm here for it.
Yes. Because yeah, that panel on page 50 where he's doing the hand signs, that's I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Kishimoto twitches whenever you look at this panel.
Yes, a little bit. At least they're not touching. They're like different hand signs.
Yeah, I mean that's true. And I mean hand signs are a big part of a lot of Asian
Yeah, it's
cultures
not
and
like
their
a Naruto
mysticism.
made them up.
No, Naruto just was very popular and made us foolish Westerners, haha, aware of them.
I also really, like I said, I really like the art. I think page 37, really cool. Just with like the visualization of like his own fucking stress crushing
Mm-hmm.
him.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the details on his face in the bottom panel of that as well. Just like the obvious discomfort that he's in.
Yes.
I think that's really good. The combat is a little not there, but not bad either. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like there's a lot of action in this, but a lot of it is just like bam, thing happens. And that's about it. I do really like the progression of the rising mountain burst though on page 51, where he's
Yes.
like building it up and then it fires off. I think that was pretty cool. I like that he gave a full page to shooting it as well, because it gives your attack a little, some oomph, that this is obviously an
Mm-hmm.
important one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I'm here for this. I think this will be pretty neat as long as they don't start getting weird with it. Because, we mentioned that we talked about in Fabricant 100, maybe you don't throw an organization at everyone right away. But I think it's all in the
Mm-hmm.
framing, because this was
Yeah.
framed from the beginning as like, oh, we want to be in this organization. Like that's our goal. And this organization
Mm-hmm.
does this and we want to be in it. Whereas with
Mm-hmm.
Fabricant 100 and with Red Hood a bit to a lesser extent as well, it's kind of they frame it as something different and then they're like, oh, surprise organization that you can join. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? Like at the last minute, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, and I think what also helps with this story compared to some of the other attempts we've seen in Jump with this is that we've had characters before, like main characters, who were either underdogs, like the little piss baby that everyone shits on,
Hmm.
or they're like super talented from the start. And I feel like this hits a really cool, not middle ground, but really cool version of it, where our main character is kind of like a prodigy, like he's really good at what he does. But his problem is just that he's kind of insecure and kind of stressed out about all the responsibilities he's gonna hold. And it just comes across as really balanced. Like I didn't feel like I was just watching some power fantasy where the author is like, haha, my main character can do anything. Um, but rather like a really cool yeah, like just a cool start to a shonen. Like I also like the end where they're like, oh yeah, his talent has nothing to do with his with anything innate. He just trains like a motherfucker every night in this like super difficult and advanced training style. I thought that was really cool. Um and I'm really liking his character. I like that he has like the stress monster inside of him. And then when they're about to decide whether or not to leave behind their friend or whatever, um he has like this intense monologue where he's like, "Oh, if we help you get back, we will never pass this test." And he has like these intense eyes. Page turn, they're helping him, no problem.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I love that. I love that. That it's like the weight of that decision isn't like nullified, at least not until we find out that it is. Um, but it isn't like made fun of. It's taken seriously that this is a big decision, but it's also like almost done with like this casualness. Like, yeah, of course I'm going to help my friend. Of course I'm going to prioritize his well-being. I understand what it means for my future and that kind of sucks, but oh well, them's the breaks. And I think that's really cool. That's a really cool way to introduce your main character and sort of their more internal aspects. Um, so yeah, very very intrigued here with this guy.
Yes, all in all, very good. I'm curious as to how much of it being very good is because it got almost 100 pages for its pilot, which is crazy. Um, and if it will still remain that good when it no longer has all the time in the world to do this, but we'll see.
Mhm.
I am
Yeah,
hopeful. I'll put it that way.
yes, for sure. Right. Hopeful out of 10 then.
All right, so the next up is Jujutsu Kaisen.
All right, so tell me, what's up? Why are you guys fighting?
It's just the chapter was just kind of nothing. It was just kind of our cast learning what we already knew.
Mhm.
They dedicated a lot of pages, it was like 3 full pages, to a soldier telling Megami the plan that we've known about for a long time. So it just kind of,
Mhm.
just a lot of nothing happened. I thought there was like a sweet moment where, you know, um, Yuji's like still clearly grieving for Nobara, which they had kind of brushed off up to this point. Um,
Mhm.
and it's weird that I see a lot of people making fun of this page. Like, oh my God, Yuji must really not have cared about her at all if he thinks this girl's replacing her. But like, that's a very not understanding how human emotion works kind of response to this panel. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think it's abnormal for a group that was 2 guys and a girl, if the girl dies and all of a sudden they start hanging out with a different girl, for someone who is still grieving to be kind of resentful of that fact. Um,
Mhm.
this isn't him saying like, "Oh, I'm starting to like her more than I like Nobara." It's him saying, I'm not comfortable really with having her around. I don't like her because of that.
Mhm.
I feel like it's disrespectful to Nobara to have her around. And then Megami's like,
Mhm.
you're kind of being dumb, and he's like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. Um,
Yeah.
which was a nice little bonding moment for them as well. I like seeing that, like, Yuji one is comfortable telling Megami that kind of stuff, and then Megami's also comfortable correcting him.
Mhm.
And they can kind of have that little disagreement and then just still be friends, still just fine.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be made
Mhm.
into a big thing. Um, and a little bit of backstory on Hana was okay. Gojo was out of the box for a panel, which was nice.
Even two panels actually.
Yeah, 2 whole panels and a leg. We got
Yeah,
a
and
leg and 2 panels.
Folks, the year's looking up. Goja stocks are on the rise. Invest now.
But yeah, otherwise it was just kind of, other than the Angel backstory, we didn't really get much.
No, I mean
I
it
do
was
like
pretty good.
the little fisherman boy though. He's funny.
That it's both funny, but it's also really horrifying. Because
Yes.
it's just using humans as bait. Like that's an awful visual. Um, on page 4, and this is very important. On page 4, the top left panel, the I swear to you, Gege must have traced like a soy jack for that guy.
Oh,
Like,
for the soldier?
yeah, he looks like a fucking 4chan reaction meme.
Yeah, he does.
Like, clearly you don't have an air fryer. I have an air fryer now. It's pretty dope. But yeah, I saw that and like I started twitching. It just why? Um but yeah, I mostly agree. I think it is definitely sort of a bit more of a less dense chapter, but I really liked the backstory with Hana. I thought it was really cool. The way it ties back with how she behaves towards Megumi. And how it's kind of not like a huge deal. It's just a thing that binds two characters together. I thought that was really sweet. Um, and we got our first fucking mention of Nobara in forever.
Yeah, and God only knows how long.
Dude, she died when the Jujutsu Kaisen anime started.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good lord, like it's been so long. Um, I saw someone say on Twitter, like it's not looking good for Nobara because clearly Gege has forgotten how to draw her because she does look a little wonky.
Yeah, she doesn't look quite right in this panel. She's got kind of a
So it's like,
snake face going on.
yeah. So someone's like, yeah, no way he bring her back. He's not been practicing.
Uh,
um, I also thought it was funny that Takaba is just the final panel.
yes, I did like the final panel. I
Yeah.
like wall break jokes, and I really like
hmm
Takaba so far. I'm glad he's like sticking around with the group.
hmm And yeah, I also thought that Yuji's interaction with Hana was pretty interesting. Um, I thought it's rare for Yuji to be like mean to people,
Yes.
right? He's a very nice guy, so moments like these are always interesting to me. And again, like the whole thing with Nobara obviously flows into that. So yeah, I like this chapter. I thought it was pretty sweet, even if it was a lot of catch up.
Yeah, and I also
Yeah.
like a little bit about Megami and Yuji's interaction before they kind of Yuji spills beans where he's being mean to her, and Megami's assumption is that it's because of his experience with Sukuna that he doesn't trust the
hmm
angel, and it turns
hmm
out that no, he's just grieving still.
hmm Yeah, I just think it's good to have Yuji do and think something interesting.
Hmm.
I'm always there for that. Um, so yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen gets a soy jack out of 10.
All right, so the next up, I believe, should be Chainsaw Man.
My beautiful cringe fail couple. I love
Yes,
them.
oh my God, dude, I love them so much, which means it's gonna
They're
end up
s-
terrible for them.
they're so funny. I love the way this her conclusion is just uh he doesn't like me, that's why it didn't work.
Yeah, he must not like me. In that case, I hate him too.
Like after
Absolute
everything I
femcel,
did.
100% complete femcel.
Uh-huh.
That's unfortunate. Uh,
Also, if not, it seems that Naruto runs the household,
yes, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
but it's also the funniest thing imaginable.
Also, do you think
Um,
the weird guy who got the Chainsaw Man starter implanted in his chest is gonna show up and crash the date and get killed by Nayuta?
I feel like I feel like something like that has to happen because why the fuck is he there? Like, why? why even include him if it's not going to lead to some horrible shit?
Yeah,
As far as we know,
as is
Fujimoto.
Chainsaw Man's standard.
Yeah. Also, good God, Denji is just the purest fucking dumbass in existence. She's like, Denji's spinal cord sword. He's like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
a
that's
weird
funny.
way.
See ya. I really
Yeah.
hope that they do this movie date and she leaves and he does it again. I really hope he pats her on the head and says Asa spinal cord sword as she leaves. So fucking funny.
um. Also, I like that Yoru, when she's in control of the body, she's like, "Oh yeah, we gotta formulate a plan." Flops down into bed, passes out
It
instantly.
blacks out immediately.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, very interested to see where this goes. I am so here for this. Like I do not need any fights. I do not need anything crazy. I just need these absolute fucking idiots to spend more time with each other. That's all I want. Um Also, someone pointed out that she's like, "Oh, the movie costs 2,000 yen. I don't go on pricey dates." That's like $6.
Yeah, that's like not even.
That's nothing.
Now I'm curious. It's $15.
I mean, that's still not very much.
No, for movies all day, that's like one movie in the US.
Yeah, that's one. That's not even a movie here.
Also, would video rentals be cheaper? I don't know that the math checks out on that.
Well, okay, you do need. I feel like we keep forgetting that Chainsaw Man doesn't take place today.
Oh yeah,
So
it's like in
maybe,
the back in the day. Yeah.
yeah, it takes place I think in '95, if I remember correctly. So maybe like Blockbuster's still around.
Yeah, but I feel like Blockbuster was more expensive than $15 to get a decent amount of movies. But I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. Maybe they have like a special discount.
the don't buy Netflix that's coming out soon discount.
Now, did you hear the Netflix CEO is retiring?
Oh, no, no, what a shame. Maybe a show will
Yeah,
last more than one season there.
yeah. And motherfucker canceled all our shows and dipped. I'm so fucking mad.
Burned it down on the way out. He
Yeah.
clearly didn't have a McGriddle that day.
No, he did not. God. Okay, Jacob. Asa and Denji McDonald's date. Peak, right?
I need that. Yeah, I need it to be a follow-up to the Burger King chapter from the last time.
Oh God, they're gonna go to like Family Burger, and then their waitress is gonna be Kobeni.
Yeah, that's where they're gonna work Kobeni back in.
Yeah, and both Asa and Denji are gonna treat her horribly because they're just like that.
And the bond over that, just being shitty
Yeah.
people all the time.
They'll bond over bullying Kobeni. Like Asa's the kind of date where like she spends 90% of the day just shit talking to the staff.
It's just awful to service people.
Yeah, which by the way, kids, huge red flag. One of the
Yes,
easiest red flags to
terrible red
spot.
flag.
Yeah, do not go on a second date with someone who treats waiting staff like shit. Never worth it.
Nope.
Life lessons with Shonen and Chill. But yeah, no, I could take 100 chapters of just Denji and Asa hanging out because Fujimoto has such a good grasp at writing fucking idiots in
Yeah,
a
they're
way that
like
is so
just
endearing.
fucking dumbasses.
Well, I mean, they're kind of like real teenagers. They're fucking stupid.
That panel of Denji getting to hug the penguin is like the best thing Chainsaw Man's ever done.
That's also true, yeah. He's just like, oh, he finally got to see the penguin, and
He
then they
got
took
the
it away
penguin
from
away,
him.
yeah, and then they have the sad look on his face when they take it away. I love Chainsaw Man.
It's such a good series. Um, so yeah, very, very interested to see where this goes. I saw like a picture of like, Naruto and like 15 dogs sitting in a council and being like, did you bring the chicken nuggies, Denji? Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Are are they appropriately dinosaur shaped?
Yeah. The council will decide your fate. Woof woof. Uh, I cannot wait to see Denji's house.
Oh my god, I know. I'm so excited.
Oh my god, I need my man to have like good breakfast every day. He fucking deserves it. Like jam and
They
peanut
go to
butter.
McDonald's breakfast every morning, and Denji gets the next McGriddle, and she
He
gets
just
whatever
live.
the equivalent of a breakfast chicken nugget is.
They just live in a McDonald's.
They just live in one of those apartments above a restaurant, and it's just a McDonald's.
McDonald's out of 10. That's the verdict.
All right, the next up is gonna be My Hero Academia.
Hey, my goat is back.
Yeah, I know that the chapter's good because of that.
Yeah, the chapter's all right. I will say, I'm getting. I mean, I'm not getting tired. I've been tired of the way my hero writes these big moments where it's just like, "Whoa, here's a crazy moment, and here's how it happened." And it's like, wow, if only we had like a downtime arc between the two wars that would have shown this in a more organic way. I was like,
Yeah,
oh
well
wait, we could have
that's
done that.
yeah, I mean that ship has sailed. It's not gonna
I
happen.
know. I know, but it's one of those things where I wonder, does Hori regret starting the final war when he did? Because it's been happening so consistently now. Where it's just like, oh, here's a thing that happened off screen. And it's like, hey, hey. But no, it is really cool that he's back. Um, he got some really cool panel. He looks so fucking good. Um, the flashback with him holding off like the other escapees from the prison is really funny when you remember that the reason Gentle is in prison is because he lost to a middle schooler or to a
Hmm.
high schooler. So it's really funny that he fought back like 60 villains, but he couldn't beat Deku before he had the 6 quirks. Like, all right, sure, I'll take it.
Well, yeah, maybe they just suck. There's certainly no one with a good name or design in that crowd. So
That is true. Um, but I do think overall the chapter was really good. I think it's really sweet that you know, Shigaraki has reemerged, and it's the villain that Deku wants to like convert, like the ultimate conversion, essentially. And here we have Gentle, we have La Brava, we have Nagant in the end coming in as like proof that it works, that Deku can get people on the right path.
how the
Um,
fuck is she alive? Her face blew up, man.
dude, Sir Night Eye is just he
Night
is
Eye has
spinning so.
gotta be pissed in hell right now. Look at it like, what the fuck? Her fucking head
if
exploded.
if
I just
they
got stabbed.
if they like if they attached like an electric transformer to Night Eye's casket, they could have infinite energy produced by his infinite spinning. Because oh my god, I will say every time something like this happens, it makes Night Eye's death funnier in retrospect and makes the overall arc weirder. Because yeah, at this point we've seen every possible injury, including the exact ones that have killed Night Eye, and no one dies.
And no one dies. And then again, did he just have shitty insurance? Why did he not get to go to Mario Hospital where everyone lives?
Yeah, like I think Negan might be the worst example of this because it's like she exploded.
Yeah,
She
her
had a
fucking
bomb.
her face cracked apart and exploded. And now she's like, "Oh, I have some scars on my eyes." Otherwise,
That's
I'm
not.
completely fine. Still
Mhm.
gorgeous and fine, and my body is not exploded into several pieces, even
Yeah,
though
well,
clearly it did.
you know, injuries can slow you down. They can make you a worse hero, but they may never make a female character less
That
attractive.
is true. Only men can
Yeah.
be maimed. Girls just
Yes.
get to stay hot with some scars.
Yes. Um.
Unless you're
But oh
Mirko.
man, yeah. Okay, sure. But I mean, Mirko's whole appeal was always that she's kind of a
She's
brutal, stinky queen.
feral. Yeah,
Yeah.
feral queen.
Also, I love that Gentle's reappearance, like the first time he reappears in like 100 chapters, is him T-posing menacingly.
Yeah, I love Gentle. He's so good.
He's so good. Again, I know the ship has sailed, but I just wish we would have gotten an actual arc or an actual like story progression regarding him instead of this moment, because it does sting that, this is such a triumphant moment for him. He captures the falling building after he failed to capture that guy, and it's sort of just treated as a as a big spectacle rather than like an emotional payoff.
Hmm.
And part of that is because we don't actually get to see him become like this. We don't get to see his change. We don't get to see, him and La Brava growing fonder while they cannot see each other. Um, and it's just, man, like, yeah, it's just, man, why did we have to jump into the final arc when we did?
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I feel like the Nagant return was unnecessary because we already got the Gentle return, and that was like the big excitement of the chapter. And then they were also like, haha, also her, the other character that
I,
you liked coming back right now.
yeah, well, it's, eh. I mean, Agent I can take or leave because I didn't find her. She was in the arc that I don't like, so I don't find her personally that cool. But it's whatever. It's fine. Gentle is the main attraction, and
Yes.
the double spread on page 12 and 13. While it does give me enormous One Piece vibes in the way it's structured, it is really sweet.
It
Uh,
is,
uh,
but yes, this is like, what the fuck?
yeah, it is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 panels. And of those 7 panels, 5 take up like not even 20% of the panel space, and then 1 takes up pretty much the rest. And then another 1 on the bottom. Like it's heh, a little uneven.
Yeah.
I like
I
the
feel like we literally could have done this entire double spread with just the picture of Gentle's, the close up of his face, the big obvious shot of him catching the falling UA, and then the close up of Deku's face. I think that literally was all you needed for all of
yeah,
this.
yeah. Um Also I like on the immediately next page, I like Negan's bullet like shooting through the shooting through the page. I
Yes,
honestly
that's
feel
cool.
like it would have been. I honestly feel like it would have been cooler if the chapter ended with that page rather than the full reveal of her.
Yeah, with just the bullet that's obviously hers, like flying through the
Hmm.
air. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Also, one thing that has everyone ablaze is All Might leaving with a suitcase.
Yeah, which I have seen that extrapolated into he's going to put on the Iron Man suit from Iron Man 2 and
Uh
start
huh.
fighting. I don't know that that's going to happen. That seems like quite a jump. Maybe he's going to put on the Iron Man suit from Iron Man 2. I
If
hope he
he
calls it
fights,
that if he does.
like trademark,
Yeah,
like
trademark Iron Man suitcase from Iron Man 2, trademark.
they have like a legal notice, like they used to do with Shugomaru and Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
It's just a photocopy of the Iron Man suit with All Might's head drawn on it.
But yeah, okay. So I'm gonna put my foot down here. If All Might goes into the fight and he throws a single punch, garbage, trash, irredeemable, awful. Like this entire.
I I would not mind if they're gonna kill All Might. I would not
Uh,
mind him going out and throwing a punch in his little shit form, and it doesn't do anything.
okay, yes, that's cool.
That would be. He can't go out and fight and be a contributor. That I agree
Yes,
would be donkey cheeks. But if he
yes.
goes out there and Deku's like, I can't fucking, I'm paralyzed from all my usage of whatever that stupid overdrive thing was. I can't. I'm
Hmm.
stuck. And All Might buys him time by going out and just like either getting killed or being willing to get killed and getting rescued at the last minute because Shigaraki's whole thing is that he's fixated on fucking hating All Might and it
Hmm.
snaps him like his attention off of Deku for just a moment, just long enough for him
Hmm.
to recover. That's fine. He can contribute
Yes,
on the battlefield, but not as a combatant.
yes. Yeah, because the whole thing is, right, ever since he survived his fight with All for One, his whole story has been about accepting that he must help in ways that are not just brute force. That he cannot just be the guy that swoops in and saves the day. So if he swoops in and saves the day by using force, sorry, that's dumb. That's garbage. I don't like it. Throw it away. Pui. Pah.
Also,
Um,
if you're telling me that they've made an Iron Man suit that fits in a suitcase that can throw hands with Shigaraki better than every other hero besides Deku, then I'm gonna be pretty pissed off.
yeah, but I mean, at that point, that's a specific complaint. We'll complain about it if it happens. Once
Yeah.
it happens. Um.
Also,
So
is
yeah,
Vacan's job to keep shooting his hands off before you can use decay?
I guess.
That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
that is pretty cool.
Your job is to snipe off any hands he tries to touch it with. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, that is pretty sick. If that is. Um. So yeah, cool chapter. Gentle is back out of 10.
Yeah,
I'm
Gentle's
happy.
back out of 10. Him and LaBrava look at each other longingly on page 11, and I'm about that. He just likes his lady. He just wants to do good
Yes.
things and make cringe YouTube videos with his girl.
God, I love Gentle so
He's
much.
so
Why?
good.
But now I'm mad at the manga all over again. Man,
Oh my
I might have to
God.
bump it out of my top 3.
Oh no.
No, it's okay.
It's
it
too
can
late
stay
with the
there.
orders. I'm not editing this. It's too late.
No,
I'm not
it's
gonna
fine.
cut up the clips.
It's fine. It's fine. We can keep it. But oh man, let's move on to the final
All
one.
right. So the finale this week is gonna be Undead Unluck.
Dog. It's just in Shonen Jonathan Jumps magazine. A buff girl throwing hands with a buff dude, and I'm all about it.
I'm so about it in a boxing ring. And I
Yeah.
like how she was like, I'm not going to use my powers because he doesn't have his powers, and he wants to do his final match as a boxer. And then as soon as he gets his powers, she's like, all right, now we're fucking throwing down.
Yeah.
I love this.
It's so good. Like, oh my god, the panel on the top panel on page 22, that's like what it looks like a mix between like a Dragon Ball and a My Hero panel, or like even One Piece with like the huge teeth. It's so
Yeah,
cool.
the giant teeth.
And again, I just can't get over the fact that it's Fuko doing it. It's not Andy or anyone else. It's our little girl Fuko.
I know. I love Fuku, dude. Is she the best main character in Jump right now?
She might be, honestly,
She
because
might
Deku
be.
is doing whatever. God, no, she's so cool. I cannot get over how cool the setup is. Like, yeah, so we have this little girl who's been really scared most of the story. Fast forward 100 chapters, she's throwing down with Mike Tyson, who is also super powered. Like, yes, this is just so cool.
Also, I like how that punch absolutely took her out, and she has Gina make an air cushion so she doesn't fall, so she can recover and keep fighting.
Yeah, super cool. I also like the final panel. Now it's time for Negator boxing. Like, yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I also like the little flashback where she punches Nico and knocks him out for like 3 days.
Yeah, I keep forgetting, again, because we had such a big break between the chapters, I keep forgetting that she's like properly buff now. That's not just
she's shredded.
Yeah, it's not just Unluck doing work. It's like she's actually really fucking strong now.
Yeah,
she's
ripped and she knows martial arts now.
Yeah. And I also like Void's acknowledgement of it, where he's like, hey, you've been the best boxer I've ever met just because of your attitude. And I'm like, yes, put some respect on my girl's name.
Yes. Fuko the queen. Also, I don't know why, I still really like every time they use a panel with a power name in it. I don't know.
Yes.
It's cool.
It's honestly, to me, it's gotten that sort of energy as like Bankai or like Smash. It's just it's part of the series now.
And it's like, I don't know, it's just a unique stylized thing. I really like it every time they do it. I'm like, yeah, this is fucking cool. And it's always on top of like a really good panel. They always make sure the panel that it's on is fucking fire.
Yes. Oh my god, I mean, the art has literally not been missing ever.
No. Damn, dude, Undead Unluck is fucking good. It's really fucking good.
We'll say it is a little unfortunate to have like this panel of a huge buff guy punching a lady in the face with the text unavoidable on top of it. That's a little That's a little circumstantially unfortunate.
Yeah, context is very helpful here.
Because I was just scrolling through on my phone and I was like trying to keep like the middle panel as the only thing on my screen. And I was like, oh, hold on.
Did you know that 40% of cops like Undead Unluck? Google police 40% to learn more.
Oh, damn. Damn, that's crazy. um, but all right. In that case, I think this was a very good chapter. I love Fuko out of 10.
Yes, I like her little trick too, where he knocks her back into the rope and she uses the rope to make her like attack have a little bit more force because she literally can't hit him hard
Mm-hmm.
enough.
Also, phenomenal color page.
Yes, very good.
The match announcement, it's so good. I love it.
I also really like the cover of the book, which is like Andy pulling the party popper and they're all flying out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's cute.
very. Um, but okay, do you have anything else to say?
I do not. Good shit. Quality shit from Undead Unluck every week. Now that Fuko's in the
Yes.
driver's seat.
Yeah, it's wild how good Undead Unluck is right now. It's so good. I remember I made a video on like Undead Unluck where I was like, oh, the first chapter is really gross. I don't know if you want to deal with this. And now I keep getting comments where people are like, oh, it's so good now. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I know.
I do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know. That's my
Yeah.
favorite when people go back to a video that's clearly like a year and a half old and they're like, idiot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where like people think YouTube videos are just eternal, and that's just what you think forever. Um, because I keep getting this on a lot of videos where people are like, "Oh, this didn't age well," or "Oh, idiot, how can you think this when this thing happened?" And then it's a thing that happened like 8 months after that video came out. So it's just people online have no sense of time. Which hey, we're all locked in here together. It makes sense. But all right. Does that mean we can move on to the bingo cards?
Yes, I believe it is bingo card time. So
Oh,
I figure we'll
bro.
go through them uh, one at a time and just talk
Mm-hmm.
about the various things on there.
All
So
right.
do you have them pulled up? Because obviously you can't see my
Yes.
screen right now. Okay, so the first one we're
Yes,
going to
I
look
have.
at is the Chainsaw Man bingo card.
All right. So, which one of these sticks out to you the most, sort of immediately?
Well, the ones that are coming out like that for sure, I think are not going to happen is Reeves returning. That's a big one. I think is not a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some ones that I think are pretty probable are Kobeni coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Asa finding out that Denji is Chainsaw Man, I think is pretty likely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Nayuta appearing is guaranteed. She's probably going to do it in the next chapter.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things because we've been running these suggestions since the start of December, so
Yeah,
it's
so
been,
yeah, some of
over a
them
month.
are, yeah. Um, and I think another one's pretty likely is Yoru teaming up with Chainsaw Man against some other opponent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, so because when you make the bingo cards on the bingo card maker that I used, it scrambles them so they're not in the original order anymore. But I just want you to know that on this bingo card, as it was in the like suggestion page, um, Kobeni returns and Kobeni's life gets ruined. We're right next to each other. Also next to Kobeni has a good life. Because I think what's gonna happen is in this order: Kobeni has a good life. Kobeni returns to plot relevance. Kobeni's life gets ruined.
I can absolutely see it.
Uh huh. I also think Chainsaw Man versus Chainsaw Man is probably gonna happen, and I feel
Probably.
like it's gonna happen this year because obviously these are predictions for 2023.
Hmm.
So some of the things might happen later. Like I think like the Blood Devil becoming a thing might be a little later. Um, might sort of bleed into 2024 because
Hmm.
that I feel like is sort of one of the big things we're working towards with Denji's explicit goal to find the Blood Devil being sort of the end point of part one. Uh, I love the prediction Denji suffers.
Yeah, just in general, just Denji suffers.
Yeah. And then also Denji lays pipe.
Not a chance.
Not a
Never gonna
chance,
happen.
Denji. Um, Another one of my favorites is Asa versus Naruto Reddit debate.
Yeah, which might happen next week.
Yeah. Um, and aside from that, I think a lot of them are also like I kind of expect them. Like I think hybrid lore, like some more info on how hybrids work. We're probably gonna get something like that.
Probably.
Um, Death Horseman would be interesting.
I imagine
Uh,
if we get death, that would be maybe a little bit closer to the end of part two as like a
mhm,
final opponent.
mhm,
Because death is obviously like everyone is on some level afraid of dying. So the death
yeah,
horseman would have to be extremely strong. And also,
yes,
we're working through famine and war right now, so I don't think they're gonna throw another one right on top.
yes. Another thing that I think will, if it happens, it'll only happen towards the later sort of parts of part two, is that part two will comment on the nature of sequels. Because I thought that was a really interesting prediction that someone made in the Discord that because Fujimoto is so like into movies, and obviously one of the big things about movies is that sequels, they're mostly bad. Um, it is an interesting idea that part two will itself comment on what it means to be a sequel and what it means to follow up something that's really popular. Um, but I guess we'll have to see. That's not a cut and dry thing whether it's done it or not. We're just gonna have to see what the vibes are like.
Hmm. Yeah, well, because
Um,
yeah, they're not gonna just like Denji's not gonna pull the camera over and start waxing poetic about sequels. So it will be interesting to see if it does go down that path. I would like to see
yeah.
something like that because again, like you said,
Also,
he likes movies.
yeah. Also, Kobeni Devil reveal. Yes, please. I kind of want it to be something wild.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how like retiring works. Like, do you keep your devil contracts if you quit?
I mean, most of them seem to be for life, right?
I guess. I don't know, but like, would they just let you be like, you have monster powers and you don't want to work anymore? Okay, bye.
I guess. Maybe they have some other mechanism to get around that, but yeah, who knows? It would be so fucking wild if Kobeni has a deal with the Death Devil.
Yeah,
And that's why
why
she
would she
hasn't
have to keep
died.
it a secret? Like,
Yeah, that's
I don't
why
know.
she survived part one because she literally had to deal with death. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool. I'd be down for that.
Yeah. I am actually one reason I really want Kobeni to appear again is because now that she has become so popular among fans thanks to the anime, I just know Fujimoto would work that into the story somehow. Like that something's up with her and that sort of interacts with the idea of her being this cringe fail disaster queen who has somehow conquered the hearts of many. I think that'd be really interesting. And I think that's what makes like Fujimoto such a fun author to follow is that with him he's so aware of like modern pop culture and also so willing to just throw shit into his story and see if it works that it's always interesting when something real happens and he just has to deal with it. Like the whole thing at the end of part one, we're like, oh, Chainsaw Man's getting really popular, and oh no, here's Denji seeing that Chainsaw Man is popular, and it gives him like the boost for the final fight.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, very very cool. But those are sort of I think those are all my thoughts on the Chainsaw Man bingo.
All right. Then the next one that we're going to take a look at is the Hunter x Hunter bingo card, which,
I
uh,
can't comment on.
yeah, I mean, I can't even really comment on it that much either because I'm not paying that much attention to the new arc. But we'll
Hmm.
leave it on the screen so that you all can look at it. I like how the free space is not in the middle.
Well, yeah, because it's a slightly smaller card because this is a 4x4 while all the others were 5x5. Um, because not every I made all of the bingo cards, like all the layouts, when I just looked at like, oh, this suggestion thread has 25 response. I'm like, okay, 25 suggestions, bet. And then only afterwards did I open those threads and realize, oh, but it's only 10 suggestions, and the rest is people arguing about one suggestion.
Oh, Hunter x Hunter classic.
Yeah, I don't think it happened with Hunter. I think it happened with One Piece, where
Oh,
it's
that
like, oh
doesn't
yeah,
surprise me either.
this has enough predictions for like a full bingo. Um, and no, instead it doesn't. Also, I just now realized that the bingo says Bing instead of bingo.
Oh my God, it does say Bing.
Bing, Ging's long lost brother and Gon's uncle.
Oh my God, it's so fucking funny. Okay, so remember the game you got that Endeavor sprite from for
Yeah,
the thumbnail?
yeah.
There's a Taiwanese version that releases like different stuff, and it
Hmm.
released a special Ging, and
Okay.
every time they release a character, that character gets like a raid boss opponent to use them
Huh?
in. Guess who Ging's opponent is?
Gon.
Yeah. It's
They have
parental
to.
responsibility.
Hmm.
It's fucking great.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it would be. I mean, as I said, I don't read Hunter x Hunter very much, but it would be interesting to get away from like the whole Succession War for a bit and get to see what Ging is up to. He just seems like a very interesting character
Yeah,
all of the
I like
time.
him. And you know, this is tough as well because we don't know how much Hunter x Hunter we're even going to get this year at all. Um, but
I mean, the thing is, it's not releasing, but it's also not listed as absent.
yeah, well,
So
because I think they have more chapters than they put out because I feel like they
yes,
said that,
they do.
yeah, so I don't really know what the plan is, but we'll see. So there you go. You've seen the Hunter x Hunter bingo card. Sorry we don't have
Yeah,
enough to talk about it.
yeah. You can download. You'll be able to download these in the Shonen Chill, Discord.
Yes, and you can mark them off as the year goes on.
Hmm.
So next up, we'll look at the My Hero Academia bingo card.
Hmm. Um. So actually, I just remembered news. Because one of them is oh, the series ends somewhere, or like the
Hmm.
series has a final arc that's really condensed, which is interesting because Gege did say this week with his author comment that he hopes to wrap up Jujutsu Kaisen this year. Um, which do you believe him?
I think that he wants to. I don't know if he'll be able to, but
Hmm.
for a while now he's been on the train of like about ready to be done with this.
Hmm.
Will he be able to do it in that time frame? I don't know. Um, but I definitely think that it's on his mind at wanting to do so. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, because you know you always got to remember a year means 40 chapters, like 45 chapters. That's
Hmm.
really not a lot.
It's not as
Uh,
much as you think.
yeah. But on the other hand, he did say in 2021 that he wants to end the story in 2 years. It's 2023, but it does line up. It does
Hmm.
seem to be his original plan. Um, so for this prediction that the final arc will be bizarrely
Although,
condensed.
hang on, hang on. Are we on the Jujutsu Kaisen card? I put up the
Yeah,
My
I
Hero
was.
card.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Anyway, in that case, we're into my hero card. Never mind.
Because yeah, you said the series ends, and I was like, yeah, it's right there. And then we started talking about
Oh,
Gege, and I was like, hmm.
oh shit, sorry. Um, okay. Series ends in my hero. I mean, it kind of has to this year.
There's
I
yeah,
mean,
like what's even left? What do you
if it's
do?
if it survives like past December 2023, I feel like I have to delete all of my hero videos. I feel like I mean, I don't feel too stupid because Hori keeps saying that he's gonna end it, but is this man just a liar? If it doesn't end this year, is he just is he just a silly little guy?
Yeah, he's just screwing around. He's just like doing whatever.
Okay, so may I tell you my absolute favorite prediction that came out of all of this?
Yes.
Eri rewinds
That
Tomura
was the
into a
one that I
child
was talking
so
about.
he can so he can be raised properly this time.
Could you fucking imagine if that's actually how it ended? The Aerie just rewinds him back to a baby, and they're like, all right. And then he becomes Beku. He
Yes.
becomes Bazuku Midoriya.
Bazuku. You see, that's Bazuku it may sound stupid to you haters, but actually it's a brilliant reference to the word bazooka, which is an explosive weapon, which is a reference to Bakugo. You see?
Oh my God, it's all come full circle, really.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm not. It does really reassure me that most of these predictions were kind of joke predictions in the thread because it really, uh, it doesn't make me feel alone in being really like tired of this story and kind of just, kind of just hanging on by saying stupid shit. Like limb lost, immediately fixed by Super Mario.
Yeah. Well, that could actually happen because Endeavor did lose a limb. So
Yeah,
see
yeah,
if he
that
gets
might
a
very much
replacement one
happen.
by the special hospital. Another one that I think is really funny is there's a time skip and Mineta is just normal sized afterward.
Yeah,
That would be funny. I
yeah,
think the everyone gets into a straight relationship pairing by the end is probably going to happen.
yeah, because
Uh,
that was one of the in the predictions, like people kept going on and on about oh, it's gonna be a gay thing and everyone's gonna be like mad about it, and oh no, it's gonna be a straight thing and everyone's gonna be mad about it. And I feel like it's almost impossible to make a prediction, quote unquote, about it because we know how it's gonna end there. Everyone's gonna be in their government mandated perfectly straight relationship with exactly one or two children, just like God intended, and it's gonna send out the message that all shonen does about romance. Just get with your high school sweetheart
yep, get with
and
your high school
pop out a
sweetheart
couple
and
of.
have exactly 1 to 2 children that look kind of like you.
Yeah, exactly. um because
I
yeah, I
like
mean,
the
I
typo on Shigaraki Talk no Jutsu, which is Shiagraki.
hey, I was tired. um
That's another one that I think is going to happen as well.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know that it's going to necessarily make him good, but I think it's definitely going to finalize getting him away from like all for one. Have a little thing. And also the one that says Skycrawler shows up. Is that the Vigilantes guy?
Yeah, that's I even forgot.
I don't
I
remember
don't
his name.
remember what it is.
Koichi? Is that his name?
Koichi,
Yeah,
yes.
Koichi.
Yes.
If that happens, I'm gonna start posting that Squidward meme that says we're gonna kill you to whoever recommended that shit. That shit better not happen.
I love that meme so
It's I
much.
know it's so funny. Him just looking at that little kid. It just says we're gonna kill you.
I love threatening people on the internet. God, if Twitter didn't have a content filter, it's awful. But I also really like Bakugo dies for real this time. um, because yeah, I mean, at this point, this man has like fake out died twice, and both of those injuries, I might add, have been worse than what killed Night Eye.
Yeah, absolutely. And Night Eye had like
um,
100,000 machines like stuck in him, and he was fine. Apparently, all he needed was Edge Shot.
yeah. I mean, honestly, feels like the medical system just needs to like get Edshot to make like a billion children that have the same quirk. Actually,
All
that's awful.
all universal healthcare is fixed. Just a bunch of
um,
sacrificial Edge Shot babies.
speaking of people dying, Gran Torino dying off screen would also be really funny.
It would be if he didn't die when he got hurt, and then they're like, "Yeah, no, he just died, just of old
It's like
age off screen."
the final like page of like the entire series is we returned home happy and then found that Gran Torino passed away in his sleep.
So All Might Dies is on here, and a
Hmm.
lot of people have been talking about whether or not he's going to get killed in this final arc. I almost wonder if he survives the final arc and they do it like Yu Yu Hakusho, where um, there's just like an epilogue sort of thing where it turns out that All Might has passed in that time frame. Because like
Hmm.
in Yu Yu Hakusho, if you don't know, Genkai perishes in a time skip basically, where
Hmm.
they finish the series properly, and then there's a single episode where it is like an epilogue episode that's many years
Hmm.
later, where they reveal that in that time frame, Genkai has passed and willed her like property to Yusuke and everything. Um, I like that. That would kind of be an interesting way to send All Might on his way. Is like, he's with an injury like that, he ain't living to 95 in a comfortable wheelchair.
Yeah, exactly.
So it would be kind of
Um,
interesting to see him just like get to go out peacefully when he
mhm.
obviously was never expecting for that to happen to him. But also, MHA is not very good at doing good things right now, so I won't
Yeah.
count that.
So the big one, MHA Shippuden. What do
I
you?
wish I had preloaded the Squidward "We're gonna kill you" meme, and I could have just put it on the screen for this right here. If there's an MHA Shippuden, I'm gonna be blown away.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't expect MHA Shippuden to happen because I genuinely do think that when Horikoshi, who's barely managing to pump out chapters anymore because he's just so tired and so like uh so burned out. If he says I'm finishing the story, I believe him. Um, and also if My Hero Shippuden would happen, I do not believe it will be good.
Well, that yes, that too. But all right, let me hit you with this potentially horrifying hypothetical. My Hero Shippuden done by someone else, vigilante style.
Okay, but then Shippuden how? As in, would My Hero as we know it end like with would Deku beat Shigaraki and then everything's fine, or would Shippuden be like the necessary continuation because Shigaraki gets away, like what some people are theorizing?
Um, that's a good question. Whichever one sounds worse.
Honestly, both.
Either one, honestly. Either Shigaraki gets away and we have like a time skip where he reappears, or it's just like they're adults now and it's just them being adults.
I feel like I would mind like a fully separate continuation less, just because you know the story is already committed to this final war. If Shigaraki just gets away, it's not gonna fix anything. It's just gonna prolong the inevitable. Um, so and done by a different guy would obviously come with its whole cavalcade of issues. Um, if it's done by the team up mission guy, could be fun. If it's like just a adult continuation. But yeah, no, I don't see a version of MHA Shippuden happening that isn't a downgrade.
Oh,
Um,
definitely not. No. Yeah,
yeah.
but with the advent of Boruto and its odd success, I'll say,
Hmm.
um, there's definitely, I feel like companies know there's some money in making sure that your cash cow series does not just stop.
Hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see. I think it's not wholly impossible that they're like, we need more MHA stuff pumping out to bring in cash.
Yeah, that's always possible
Will it
naturally.
be Shippuden type thing? Probably not, I would wager.
Hmm.
But I don't know. But I don't think they're just going to be like, oh, it's done now. We'll never touch it again.
Yeah, fair enough. Um, Also, Deku's dad never showing up. I unironically hope that happens.
I think it will happen. I don't think
Yeah,
we're going to see him at all.
which is so funny because it's one of the few things Hori specifically said would happen.
We're
Because
going to get like an epilogue time skip, and it's going to be like his graduation, and the dad's going to be in the audience with the mom. That's going to
yeah,
be
and
it.
it's literally just gonna look like an aged up Deku. No, he's gonna at his graduation, he's gonna look over and he's gonna see his dad and realize he looks just like All for One, and then that's how MHA Shippuden starts. You're just like, wait a minute.
As All for One keeps rewinding, he's just going to start looking more and more like Deku as he starts getting back to his teenage years.
um. Also, what also could happen is like, they kill All for One, and then Deku graduates, and he's like, "Mom, where's that?" And like, "Oh, he had a horrible accident. He like rewound back in time and died."
Oh
um.
fuck.
Also, I just
That'd
like
be good.
I like the prediction that is literally just Deku commits murder.
Yeah, which honestly is probably the least likely one on here.
Yeah, probably. I mean, unless he kills Shigaraki, which won't happen. I
I don't
do
think
not
that'll
see that
happen. No.
happening.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen.
The series does not have that dog in it anymore.
No.
Um,
Which reminds me of the weird Twitter discourse the past few days of like heroes should just be able to kill people if they're villains whenever they want.
um, Yes, but only the sexy heroes.
Yeah, if it was Endeavor pre sexed upification when they decided he had to be a good guy now, and he became
Hmm.
hot instead of a weird gremlin man, it would not be okay. But it was Hawks, so it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, extrajudicial killing is good as long as it's stylish. You may quote me on that, including in court. um, Also, can we talk about the one that is absolutely definitely happening, which is Dobby dying?
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, like you said, these were made back in the beginning of December, so some things have happened since they were made. But
Hmm.
he's literally walking charcoal right now. So
Yeah.
I'd say he's about both feet and half his torso in the grave already, my friend.
Okay, but have you considered that maybe Endeavor punches him so hard that he like flies through the Super Mario hospital? And
He lands in a bed in the Mario hospital.
he like flies in through one end and then smashes out the other end and he's perfectly healed. He's just like a normal
It's
person.
just a repeat of that Choujin X panel of the guy getting launched through the building.
So
Except each panel, Davi is slightly more healthy looking, and he just comes out the other end looking like Toya.
he's like, what happened?
Coincidentally, also, he got therapy while he was in there, so he's a good guy now.
Yes. You got therapy from Dr. Bowser. Dr. Kong is about to see you now. Also, I wrote it down as Todoroki family free for all. I did not mean all of them. It just meant Endeavor, Dobby, and Shoto. It did not mean the mom.
The mom just comes to the war and starts throwing hands.
She's like, Toya, it's time you learned your lesson from your mother. She just pulls out like a fucking gun. She's like, it's your
I mean,
bedtime.
she does have ice powers, doesn't she?
Well, yeah, but I think they're pretty weak. I don't think they're anything. I don't think she's that strong. Um,
I bet they're
I
strong
mean,
enough to keep a gun cool so it doesn't overheat.
she's like, ah, yes, you see, the minuscule like lowering temperature actually allows my gun to fire at 3.1% extra efficiency, which is exactly what Dobby's weakness is. He's like, no, my only weakness, guns.
Bullets! Bullets hitting my body.
No, my Achilles heel, damage.
My one weakness, pain. Taking damage from attacks.
All right, are we done with this one, or is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think I'm done with this one.
All right, which
So
one?
next
Which
we'll
one do you want to go next?
do the Jujutsu Kaisen card.
All right, yes. This is a lot less goofy. This is actually mostly
Yeah, these are
really
mostly like
sensible one.
actually valid predictions.
I will say Maki punches through a guy is so good because it's absolutely contextless.
But it could totally happen. I would be there for that.
Yes, it could totally happen. Um, what do you think of hashtag she's fine?
The stocks are down. I'll say that.
Yes, the stocks are
The
way
stocks
down.
are way down. They're lower than
Mhm.
they've ever been. I
Yeah,
really like Takaba opens the box. That's one I would really like to have happen.
same.
Like I would legitimately really like that to be how it happens.
He opens the box so he thinks it might be funny.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, this is the thing you're fighting over. Wouldn't it be funny if it just opened on its own and it just pops open immediately?
Hmm.
Um, Nobara dead but revives in a different form, I think is more feasible, perhaps, than hashtag
Hmm.
she's fine now.
Hmm.
Again, I still don't know why they would have made a big stink over there's a chance she might be okay if they just wanted her to be dead. That's what always sticks out to me when I think about like Nobara being dead is like why even include those panels at all? There's no point to having them there. You could have just left them
Yeah.
out. Unless the whole point was like, oh, it was to, make Yuji okay with fighting, but like it's in shonen manga, you don't have to try that hard.
Yeah.
Just have his resolve get brought up by Toto being there, and then it's fine.
Hmm.
And
Also,
so
I
that
do want
little
to.
bit is just got me questioning if we're really never gonna see her again.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to say real quick because it didn't fit on this bingo, but pretty much half of the suggestions besides these ones were like just Toto comes back in some capacity, or like he has an arm back, or he's just there. So people want Toto back, which is understandable.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not want Toto back? It's
Yeah,
your cringe
true.
king.
But yeah, I think Nobara stocks are way down. I think,
Yes, they are tanking right now.
yeah, I think the one, like the whole thing with like, oh, but she might be okay. I feel like that might have just been Gege being quirky. I feel
Maybe.
like,
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
yeah, that he was just being a silly little guy. Um, one that I like is Kenjaku body snatches a major character. That would be interesting because we've never seen him body snatch someone. We've
Yeah, we
only
don't
seen
really
sort
know
of the
how it
after effects.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be interesting to see him. Honestly, now that we are where we are in the story, it would be interesting to see him like come back and it's just Tengen's body that's overtaken and has the stitches now. And
Is
that's how he
Tengen's
fuses
body
with him.
even like a body though?
A good point. Um Yuki, I don't know. Whoever. Um I also like how three of these are just Yuji finally gets a fucking curse technique.
Yeah, Yuji finally gets a power that's not Black Flash.
Yeah. Um Also Black Flash being used, I feel like that's
Pretty much a
I want to
given.
say it's I want to say it's a given, but it hasn't been used for like a year and a half, 2 years in the manga.
Yeah, but I think Yuji's only had one fight in that
True.
time, and he couldn't use his cursed energy in that fight. So
That's true.
I feel like as soon as he actually gets to fight someone with cursed energy again, it will make its way back round.
Mm-hmm. Yuta swag and Toji panels also
It,
very good
it,
suggestions.
yeah, borderline impossible to not happen for both of those things.
Yeah.
Yuta swag is like, is Yuta on the panel? Okay, then yes. Uh, Toji panels, inevitable. We're gonna
Yes.
see Maki again, and Maki is no longer allowed to exist without also being a Toji panel, so
Yes. As that one
inevitable.
as that one tweet said, whenever Gege thinks those Maki chapters get a little boring, he sprinkles in some Toji panels
Uh-huh, sprinkle
to
some
keep us
Toji in to
going.
get everyone excited. Yeah.
Hmm. What do you think of Miwa screen time? Because she did get that one panel
I
randomly.
am still so confused about what the fuck that panel was supposed to be about.
Uh-huh.
What are
Like
you
just
doing here? Why are
like
you
just her
here?
walking the devastation to like show that, oh, there's more people here than just what we're being shown. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I would like to see Miwa, but I also don't care that much about Miwa. Like,
Hmm.
it would be cool to see what she's up to because she was clearly in a fucking zone. Or maybe they're
Hmm.
just gonna be like, oh my god, Miwa got caught by the government because all she is vaguely okay with a sword.
Yeah. Um, and one that I really need to see happen is the Heian era flashback with Sukuna.
Yes, very much would like that.
That one kind of needs to happen because we have gotten so many like little glimpses and like hints of what the Heian era of Jujutsu sorcery was like, and it feels like we just need that context, man. We just need
Hmm
to see what happened.
How it was really like back in the heyday.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I have
Um,
any other big thoughts unless
yeah, I
you have
mean,
anything.
like Megumi reveals a new Shikigami, probably almost guaranteed.
Mhm.
If he's gonna have fights on screen, it's probably gonna happen.
Mhm.
Um, Nothing else is super jumping out at me. Gojo remains in
Mhm.
the box. Fuck that guy. He's probably right, but fuck. Been
Understandable.
3 years.
Mhm.
All right, so our last
Um
one then is the mashup one of all the series that did not get their own.
mhm. So the One Piece ones, I don't know. I think the funniest one is the One Piece is found revealed as if One Piece is gonna keep going until I'm dead.
Yeah, not gonna happen. I
They
like the
can
one that just says Elbaf. I don't even know what that means.
Elbaf, that's like the giant island, I think, that has been getting teased since like the 90s.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they've ever got I don't think they've gone there. So Also, I like how two separate series just get the series ends.
Yeah, it's just over.
Yeah, I mean, I think both are fairly likely actually. Undead Unluck and Mashle both don't seem like they have enough steam left for
Yeah, I don't know that they
the
have another
entire
year in the
rest year.
tank.
Yeah. Uh, I like the one for Blue Box that's just the harlot falls in love with Hina.
Yeah, I would be all for that. I don't think it's gonna
Yeah,
happen, but I would be all for it.
yeah, I'd love that. I'd love that. Sakamoto Days, Akira starts working at Sakamoto's store.
Very
Not a
interesting after this chapter.
yeah,
Really threw a wrench
not
in that one, didn't it?
yeah. Well, it could still happen.
It could. I have a feeling it will probably still happen. Um,
My favorite of this one, Undead Unluck. We, as in you and me, forget that a character exists.
almost certainly.
Inevitable.
Almost certainly.
Inevitable. Also, Mashal one more door gag. Yes, please.
I really like Shugamaru guy gets curb stomped. I would like to see that.
That
That would
was
be
so
that would be
random.
good for my mental health.
Yes, for me too. Um, and then the rest is sort of, I mean, they're all sort of very granular for what like the specific series is. I think where is it? Where is it? One that yeah, a blue box that Haru has relationship issues. That would be interesting. So it feels like my man keeps like being in on the sidelines suffering or like being a little down.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that could be interesting.
I also like the Undead Unluck one, which is Andy's return is because of Unluck. Like
Hmm.
the Unluck is what brings him back to help fight, which I think would be extremely hype. Be very cool.
Yes. The specific prediction was, because it didn't fit in the box, was that Fuko summons a meteorite and Andy like rides the meteorite into the battle.
Raw,
And that's how he comes back.
raw, extremely raw.
Yeah. If you guys if you're the one who made that prediction, congrats, you have the Dennis and Jacob cosign.
The complete cosign, 100 million
Yes.
percent cosign.
Yes.
That's
Also
the
like for Blue
that's the
Box.
rawest thing posted on any of these. I'll say that right now.
Yes. Also like for Blue Box, the accident that leaves one character unable to play sports temporarily or permanently. I think that could be interesting.
I
I
think it
think
could
that
be
could be
interesting
sort of a
too.
big
It's
thing.
also very dark for Blue Box though.
Yeah, but I feel like because the series has now been flirting with the idea of what happens when you can't do the sport that you defined yourself as, especially now with Yumeka.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like if you wanted to bring that to like an extreme climax, that would be the way to do it. I mean, it could be temporary. It could be like, oh, Chinatsu gets an accident with her foot and she can't play basketball for half a year. You know what that does to her, and
And
how
that
she
could
then
also
returns
tie
to it.
into this other one, which is Chinatsu turning down Taiki's confession.
Hmm.
That perhaps she
Yeah,
gets injured and after that injury, Taiki tries to confess his feelings and she's just so like not there.
out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I just realized about Blue Box that would actually hurt me the most
Hmm.
is if Tai confesses to Shinatsu. She accepts. They get together, and then they both realize that the relationship is boring and they don't like it. And they're
Oh,
like,
I
"Wow,
hate
this."
that.
And then they sort of break up and they have to live on like that.
Oh, I hate that. That's misery incarnate right
Yeah,
there.
I
Ugh.
mean, it's it would be the kind of misery the series does because yeah, it's like, oh, you chase this girl for so long and then you get together and it's like, wow, this sucks.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean that you're right that is kind of what this series traffics in, this like passive real life misery.
Yeah.
But also
Yes.
ugh.
Also, oh, I just realized, Anya Pst revealed should be Anya past like reveal, like more
Oh,
reveals in her
yeah.
past.
I was reading that one and I was like, okay, that's gotta either be a typo for past or PST is shorthand for psychic powers that I don't know about.
No, no,
And
that's me.
it's
That's me doing this at like 4 a.m. Um, but yeah. Just so we're clear on that. But yeah, I don't have anything else that jumps out at me like immediately right now.
I also the only one that I think jumps out at me that I think would be very cool is the the headmaster in Mashle rejoining for the final like contest. Him somehow
Hmm.
reappearing to help fight, I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm already feeling like this final section of Mashle is really dragging. So I
Yeah,
don't know if
but
I
for
want
me,
there
I
to
just
be.
kind of need this guy gone. I need the guy we're fighting gone, and I need to move into something more interesting.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
have a feeling the final battle with what's his fuck is going to be absurdly long. So
Fair enough. Yeah.
I would at least like cool things to happen in that battle while it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. True. But all right. Do you have anything else?
I do not. I think that is it for our bingo cards for our New Year's predictions.
All right, and I think that's the 100th episode in the bag in that case.
It is a long one. This is over 2 hours. It's the first time we've done one this long in a long time.
Yeah, well, I mean, makes sense.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so we will see you guys in the next one. Remember, if you want to download the bingo cards and follow along, you can absolutely do so on the Shonen and Chill Discord, which is always in the description down below, so you can get in. And we will see you all next week.
Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for your ongoing support. It's been a ride and it will continue to be. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.